PSA is an absolute monster house in the sports card community, specifically with grading cards. However, in this video, I'm going to be telling you why TGA is a more difficult grader and why you should consider TGA over PSA. Stay tuned. So you must think I'm absolutely crazy if I'm comparing TGA to PSA, or really comparing any grading company to PSA because they're known as an absolute monster house in this hobby. However, I did the research, I did the math, and I want to show you why you should second guess PSA in their grading. So I have 5 different categories here, or 5 cards, that I want to compare and contrast compared to PSA's pop report and TGA's pop report. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to put pictures up on the screen so you guys can follow along here. But the first card I want to look at is the PSA Mac Jones 2021 Donruss Football Base Rated Rookie. Now, in PSA's pop report, as of March 24th of 2022, there are only 1,909 total submissions of this card, whereas 105 of them came back in 8.5 or lower. 549 of them came back a PSA 9. They don't offer a 9.5, so we will excuse that throughout this experiment. Where a total of 1,256 of those Mac Jones cards came back a PSA 10. That is a gem mint rate of 65.79. So based off the calculations, you have a 65.79% chance to get a PSA 10 if you were to submit a Mac Jones base rated rookie from 2021 Donruss. Now we look over to TGA, same card, they have 29 total submissions. So yes, the volume is significantly lower because they are not the name that PSA is. And that's okay. I don't mind supporting local. They're based out of New Hampshire, New England. I'm in Rhode Island. That's also New England. So supporting, and I'm going to kind of compare and contrast pricing and all that at the end of this as well. But a total of 29 submissions have been entered for that same Mac Jones card, where 0 have come back an 8.5 or lower, 4 have come back a 9, 20 have come back a 9.5 because they offer 9.5s, and only 5 TGA 10s are in existence of that Mac Jones rated rookie. That is a gem mint rate of 17.24. Again, the sample size is lower, but the math doesn't lie as it states. Let's jump back to PSA and let's look at a Tom Brady 2000 press proof football, where I'm going to be looking at the base, the gold zone, and the torquers. Now there's been a total submission of 2,204 of this card, whereas 1,208 of them have come back an 8.5 or lower. 673 came back a PSA 9, and 323 came back a PSA 10. That is a gem mint rate less than 1% at 0.1466%. Let's jump over to TGA and let's look at that same card. There's only been 9 submissions of that same card, so there's a lot less data to go off of. But out of their 9 submissions, there's 4 8.5s or lower, 1 9, and 4 9.5s with 0 10s. That's a gem mint rate of 0%. So far through 2 cards, granted the volume size is different, but through 2 cards so far, the gem mint rate for a PSA 10 is higher than a TGA 10. So just keep that in the back of your mind as we go through this experiment. Switching over to basketball here, let's look at a LaMelo Ball 2020 Mosaic Basketball base rookie. No silvers, no debut, just the base rookie for LaMelo Ball from Mosaic. In PSA's system, there's a total of 38 cards submitted. 1 came back an 8.5 or lower, 13 came back a PSA 9, and 24 total cards came back a PSA 10. That is a gem mint rate of 63.16. Let's hop over to TGA and let's look at that same card where there's been 10 total submissions for this card. 3 of them come back a 9, 7 has come back a 9.5, and no TGA 10s are in existence for this card, resulting in a gem mint rate of 0%. Back to PSA, we're going to look at a TCG card, probably the most famous one, and that is the 1999 Charizard. I'm going to be looking at the Holo, the first edition, the base set, and the Shadowless, where there is a total of 41,140 copies of those cards in PSA's system. That's a big number, so there's going to be a really big sample size. 32,900 have come back in 8.5 or lower. For a 23-year-old card, that makes a lot of sense. 13,852 have come back a PSA 9. Again, no 9.5s. So we jump to a PSA 10 where there's 627 total PSA 10s of the 1999 Charizard. Again, covering the Holo, first edition, base set, and the Shadowless. That is a gem mint rate of 0.01524%. So again, less than 1. Now let's look at the same copies in TGA system, where we'll be covering 133 total submissions for the 1999 Charizard, and 132 have come back in 8.5 or lower. Yes, all but one. In that one card that came back higher than an 8.5 was a TGA 9. So we've covered 4 cards. We've covered Mac Jones, we've covered Tom Brady, LaMelo Ball, and Charizard. So some pretty popular cards in today's market. But now for the 5th and final component of this experiment, let's call it, I want to cover 2020 NFL Prism. So I want to cover the entire Prism set. So every single 2020 NFL Prism card that came out and that has been submitted to both PSA and TGA will now be reviewed, starting with PSA. In PSA's system, in their pop report, there's 103,091 total submissions for 2020 NFL Prism. 8.5 or lower, there's a total of 8,975 PSA, 8.5, 8.7, whatever it may be. That's a pretty high number if you ask me, considering that it's a most recent Prism set and it is a very highly sought after. So it's a little surprising that there's a lot more, almost 9,000 8.5s or lower. Anyways, 56,164 PSA 9s and a total of 37,952 PSA 10s covering 2020 NFL Prism. That is a gem mint rate of 36.81%. 36.81%. I actually put 0.36, my fault. So let's switch that real quick. 36.81%. That is the gem mint rate for a PSA 10 if you are submitting a 2020 NFL Prism card. Now let's look at TGAs. Again, the volume size is significantly lower. So there's been 99 total submissions for a 2020 NFL Prism card. 10 have come back in 8.5 or lower. There are 61 9s out there, 26 9.5s, and only 2 TGA 10s. That is a gem mint rate of 0.0202. So after we looked at all of the data, we can average out that PSA's gem mint rate, the chance percentage you have to getting a 10 from the 5 different areas that we covered, is 33.184. Again, there are a couple under 1%, but there's also a few that are well over 1%. Again, Prism, 36.81. The LaMelo Ball, 63.16. The Mac Jones rated rookie, 65.79. So average it all out, it comes to 33.184% for PSA's gem mint rate average. Let's look at TGAs, where it is significantly lower at 3.45. That is covering 2020 NFL Prism, the Charizard, LaMelo Ball, Tom Brady, and also the Mac Jones rated rookie from this year's Donruss. That is the only one, the Mac Jones card is the only one that we covered that had a gem mint rate percentage over 1%. So when people come into the shop, I typically tell them that TGA is a more difficult grader than PSA. And I think based off of the experiment and the data that's in front of us, That's true. I mean, you have a 1 in 3 chance to getting a PSA 10. That's fantastic. I want you to get all the 10s in the world. But on the other hand, we don't want the market to be flooded with 10s. We don't want to see 10s everywhere we go. That's only going to undervalue the true meaning of a 10, because if you have a 10, I have a 10, the next person has a 10. So TGA being a much more difficult grader at 3.45% is absolutely astonishing. I did a TGA submission reveal recently on the channel, and I submitted 20 cards, mine and customer submissions as well, and we got 0 10s. Not a single 10 we got in our submission bulk. And yes, people want the perfect card. I understand that. But when you're looking at card shows, online, at card shops, wherever you may be looking at your cards, and you see a 10, just think to yourself, how many others of these are out there? And if you're looking at a PSA graded 10, the chances are very high that there's a lot out there. But if you're looking at a TGA card, not so many. Not a lot at all. And then lastly, I want to cover the grading cost for both PSA and TGA. So let's first look at PSA's grading costs. If you go through the walkthrough service, $600 a card, Super Express $300, the regular Express is $150, and the regular grading fee is $100, excuse me. In the economy, which is only exclusive to PSA Collectors Club members, so you have to sign up, become a member, pay to be a member, and then you can get the $50 a card that way. However, this economy level, I'm hearing, is taking up to close to 6 months. So that's pretty bad. I've heard regular is around 3 months and the Express is around a month or two. So the turnaround times aren't as bad as it was last year, 2 years ago for PSA. But at $100 and $150 a card to get your card back between 1 and 3 months. So with PSA only offering $50 a card, or the economy, to PSA Collector Club members only, if you're not a member, then you're forced to pay $100 a card again for 1 to 2 months, maybe 3 months. I mean, I haven't submitted a PSA card in a very long time, but I'm hearing 1 to 3 months on the regular, and the Express is probably maybe 1 to 2 months. But again, at $150, is that really worth it when we hop over? And you can see the standard service is $20 per card, estimated 60 business days. But the most popular one is their priority service, which is $30 a card, estimated at 30 business days. And yes, there are quicker grading services, $45 a card for the rapid service, that's 10 business days. $100 for express service, that's 2 business days. You can get a $15 reslab service, and then you can get a card protected at $15, so no grade, just protected. I mean, these prices are insanely better. And on top of it, the cherry on top is if you bring your cards on down to Murph's Card Town Sports Shop, it only costs you $18 a card to get the priority service, which is 30 business days, I should be more accurate. 30 business days at $18 a card. You just got to bring your cards on down to the shop, and we can get your cards in the system for next month's grading submission. I mean, listen, inflation is real. What's going on in society is affecting everybody. I just don't see $100, $150 a card worth it, where you can get 5 cards graded from TGA for the price of 1 PSA card in quicker turnaround time. I mean, when it comes to grading cards, you have to consider the turnaround time, because you'll submit it on one day, get it back in 4 months or whatever. And the market for that card has dramatically changed one way or another. The card market is always changing. So you have to be smart about what cards you're getting graded, how long it's going to take, how much you're into the card for, and what could the value be when you get the card back whenever you do. So I mean, these are all things to consider. And at the end of the day, pick which grading company you like the best. Pick whichever grading company works best for you. But me, being an authorized dealer, TGA is perfect for me and my population and my customers here at Murph's Card Town and Sports Shop. It just makes way too much sense for $18 a card, to pass up on $18 a card and get it in 30 business days. I mean, make your own decisions, grade whoever you, get cards graded by whoever you like. But I mean, $18 a card in 30 business days is very, very tough to pass up on. But that's going to do it for this one. I really hope you enjoyed this comparing and contrasting between two grading companies, obviously PSA and TGA as well, and just really seeing what the market looks like for both of those respective companies, cards being slabbed and graded, and of course considering pricing and turnaround time as well. I really wanted to give you this in-depth video comparing and contrasting both of these companies to hopefully enlighten you that there are more options out there than just PSA, because I strongly do believe TGA is a very, very reputable and a awesome grading company to get your cards graded by. But leave your comments down in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you disagree with me? I want to hear your thoughts, reactions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section below. Please smash the thumbs up button if you enjoyed today's video, and please consider hitting that giant red subscribe button, as I would greatly appreciate the love and support. That's going to do it for this one. But between now and then, you guys know that I love you, and I will always see you. But hopefully I see you in the next video, because this video right here is going to be a fantastic video for your sports card endeavor. See you there.